This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts, coming on today to share with you paper piecing. I'm doing the peapod bear from Cadoodlebug Designs. Also, I had some requests to show you some tools that I use when I paper piece, so I'm going to be doing that. The first thing I'll share with you is what I use to ink or chalk my edges. I use these little sponge daubers. Show you two because this is a fairly new one, just stained now, but they come all white. And this one is one that's well loved and has been cut down and shaved. And anyway, that's what I use to ink the edges of my pieces, just to give you an idea. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in and I'll share with you the tools I use as I go. One thing that is necessary for me at least is this tweezers. It's from EK Success. You can see it's well loved. I do not know the names of everything, but this one is a reverse from what you would think of as maybe a normal beauty tweezers. Plus it needs to be cleaned. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I have my pieces all separated by color, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I know you guys have seen a lot of paper piecing videos later. I have a lot of requests for this. I do have some other projects coming up. I have had well, the last few days just haven't been real great. I'm going to just put it that way to you. So I hope to get some things going. I just haven't had a lot of time to paper piece with appointments and a lot of extra phone calls and some things I'm trying to deal with. So it will hopefully settle down here. And I just found out we have July 4th off that Saturday. Normally I would be working, and quite happy I don't have to work that day, so I do get a 3-day weekend, which is a nice surprise. I kind of needed that. So I'm just getting started here with my paper piecing. I'm putting this fine piece on here. I probably will come back and use colored pencils or some ink to color this. I sometimes, when I resize things, I don't always have the best of luck with it resizing and fitting properly, and with this thin little piece it especially isn't gonna want to work exactly right. Also, you may be seeing some glue that has not dried yet on there, so right down there on part of the vine. Okay, and with these pieces I usually use the background piece. What I'm going to put on next is the ears, because I do want to mention that I have the piece in front of me on the computer, and I normally do kind of look at that as I'm doing this, but I do know that the ears are going way to the back. You know, they're going to be the background pieces. And I'll get the dimensions. I think I have it still up as to what size I cut my bear. You know, colors, I use so many different colors. I use Stampin' Up! Ink mostly, some close to my heart. So my colors that I use vary so much, and I use so many, it's really hard to tell you what colors I use. Adhesive, this bottle is really getting bad, but I use art glitter glue, and I also, get it out here, I use Beacon 3-in-1. If I have a larger piece, I will use that, but mainly I do use the art glitter glue, and I use the fine tip, that metal point. There are a lot of other glues out people that they like. I have just come to like this. Just know that you have very, very little wiggle room when it comes to using this. So once it's there, it's pretty much there. So I'm pretty careful with that. And I don't want to sound obnoxious or rude. I'm not sure if the word I'm pompous. I'm not sure of the word I'm looking for. I just am trying to share with you some things that I have come across that do or don't work for me. So just kind of a hint. I have not put this bear together yet, so this will be kind of interesting to see how many mistakes I can make this time. What I do often, if you have not watched my videos before, I do put marks on the back of most of my pieces. I got little pencil marks so I know right and or you know what side's up and down, because I often paper piece or cut my pieces, put them in little baggies, and then later I'll paper piece. That's not the case this time. I just cut this, but it's still just in case something came up I didn't get to it. I wanted to do that. What I'm doing is putting the arms on, and they're not glued down. I'm just making sure that I have them up far enough that they're going to get covered, because I've had it before where they don't get covered. So just a little bit of white, if you can see down at the bottom, it actually will get covered with this piece. And I think we're good with this body going on. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm good there. I just kind of I have done a couple pieces where the arms didn't get covered by either the head or the body somewhere. So I just kind of like to make sure that I lay those on first. And I have no rhyme or reason when I paper piece. I'm all over the place with what piece I put on next. I try to look at, you know, the picture, but it doesn't always work. And I'll put some ears on because, again, they go behind the head and everything. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Their summer's starting off fairly well. It's not been too bad here. I really can't complain. Now, I only am going to take this piece just to make sure I'm getting everything covered, because that's the lowest piece of basically the head part. And I'm good. So gotta know where to put the body, because that's going to go behind the peas. And I am putting this on a card. You can see the finished card on either my fan page on Facebook, or I'll try to get it on Instagram. I'm going to try to start posting on Instagram again. Otherwise, you can also go to the Cadoodlebug fan page. I post every Friday evening. I didn't know if I was going to get anything done this week. I just, top of everything going on, I really lost my mojo for a while. But hopefully things will come back. I need to find a piece of paper to put this excess glue on. I was thinking I had some napkins or baby wipes or something here, but no. I don't like using the Beacon 3-in-1 glue when I have my fingernails painted, because it takes the fingernail polish off because it's got acetone in it. So I'm going to try to be careful this time and not get it all over. And I'm using it on this head just to get the head in the right spot, because it's not going all the way to the bottom, so try to kind of get it figured out here. These little white pieces right here will get covered up with the pea pods and stuff. Excuse me, the top of the, like the leaves or the shelling on the top of, so we're good on that. I think I'm going to come in next with my 2 green pieces here. I'll finish the face in a little bit. Now, there are 2 pieces here. Bring this to your attention. They are not exact. I'm going to show you because I'm trying to line them up. They don't line up exactly. One of them goes in the back, and then this will go, one of them goes on the top, and I kind of have to figure out which one goes on the back here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one, just from what I know of peas and just looking at the design. Okay, and I'm just gonna lay this one, yeah. So the tiny bit bigger one does go to the back, which makes sense. Trying to get some more videos done. I've got a few projects done. I just got a bunch of paper, well, I shouldn't say a bunch, but some paper for some holiday projects and whatnot, so I can finally start on my fall and Christmas things. Looking forward to that. All right, this should be interesting, these peas. I'm gonna have to kind of, one, there's just a little bit of a part that juts out here. I know that goes there. And the next one. And they don't overlap, they just go together, basically. And then we have this one. And I'm going to take a hand, just make sure everything is covered over here, which it will be. So, both of my glue bottles are about empty. I have a refill for my art glitter glue. I just haven't filled it yet. My glue, goodness, I pick up the glue. My pea pods, peas inside the pods are a little bit different. The design on my, well, at least when I look at it, mine looks like they're a little bit more yellow. And I didn't do that, so they're gonna look a little different. Put the hands on. Before I do anything further with my peas, or put that top piece on, I'm going to do a little bit to my peas. Okay, another thing I use is pan pastels. You can see it better on probably on the black. I get these from Amazon. I think Dick Blick Art Supplies has them. I don't know where else. I don't shop very much. So, and then I apply the white. This is titanium white with just a sponge eyeshadow applicator. And I use my hand to get some of it off to start. And I'm just putting a little bit, and I'll have to come back and kind of look at this in a moment. I'm just highlighting my peas a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna leave those alone for now. And I'll just put the lid on for that for a bit. And now I might as well put this on. Now this piece is going to go at the top of the peas. and then it'll come back and match up over here. And excuse my reach, I have this piece that actually goes at the bottom of this. So I'm going to do that first so I don't have glue everywhere. And that's why I like this little precision tip. This is probably my third one because I keep clogging them up, and I should try some Goo Gone to see if I can't get them undone. And I also kept losing the stainless steel pins, so I bought some more of those too. This doesn't go all the way to the end here. You see that on the photo, just goes part way. Okay, put this back in. And then this will match up on the top piece there. Then we'll match it up at the hands again, because you want a little bit to see underneath. So I did get one project finished yesterday. I did make a little acorn box from my scrap chick. That is it. I just have not hardly done anything this week. And this weekend, I'm not sure what I did. I worked, and I'm trying to think if I did or didn't work. Yeah, I did work. Yeah, I did. That's why. I just tired and just out of sorts this weekend. It was kind of crazy. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm just trying to put these little things off because I don't know. I'm going to put the eyes and do the face. So, my little stuff out of there. And I've got the blue parts next. Now my eyes, I put up toward the top, leave just a little bit of white. Goodness, excuse me. Gonna come back in with just a little bit of white in the middles. I just do it in circles around, and it really won't show much, but by the time we're all done, it will. And I have my little 2 black pieces. Got a little much glue on those. Again, I put them up toward the top. I'm going to be making some poinsettias soon, so I'm going to show you how I make my poinsettias also. Okay, now I'm going to bring this piece back. Make sure there's nothing on there. And here's where I just placed this on, so I have some idea where I'm putting my eyes, so they kind of get on somewhat even. And I can't see my camera, that's terrible. It's quite a glare in here today from the clouds outside, so I am so sorry. Hoping I'm in frame. Okay, I'm going to try to hold the muzzle piece on. And I put my eyes fairly close together. There's not going to be a lot of room for eyelashes or anything, so it's all good. Let's see. What I'm trying to do is on the sides here, Get them kind of even going up. I want to get this one over a little bit before it completely dries. Okay, we're good. Before I can go any further, I want to do the eyes. What I do for this is I use black pan pastels. I use very few tools. It's crazy. I don't know why that's out. I use, mine is a low Cornell soft comfort. It's a 1/8 inch angle shader. It is in bad shape. The bristles are getting bad. I'm looking for new ones. I just haven't quite found what I want yet. But I just tap it pretty much straight up and down because you don't need a lot on the bristles itself, just more on the edge. And then I just tap off above the pot of pan pastels. And then I just go around my eyes. If you get some on the white, no big deal. It's just chalk. Very simple to erase. And I don't have a lot on here, so. Now if you have like a brown pan pastel, that would be great. I'm too cheap to spend $16 for a pot of them. I want the burnt umber, and yeah, I'm just not quite sure I'm ready to pay that yet. So you can be fairly messy with these. It's not a big deal. I usually try to be more careful, but when I'm on camera, I can't get my head under there to see what I'm doing. So what I do, there's 3 different erasers I like. I started out with the Pebbles chalk ink eraser. It's thicker than this, but it's got quite an angle. You can fill it, refill it. I still have that somewhere. And then I came across this when I was cleaning out some stuff several years ago. It can be adjusted. I just think it's getting to the end here. It's just a Pentel pencil eraser, and I think these are still available. One thing I stress when you're working with chalk, the white erasers of any sort are truly the best because they're soft. About a year and a half or so ago, I don't know when it was, I was gifted this Tombow Nano Zero Elastomer eraser. See how fine it is? It's awesome for doing this fine detailed work. It takes off the chalk wonderful. One of the things I really like about pan pastels is you have very little dust, so that's really nice. Oops, I got a little too much off there. But I use this to contour and erase my mistakes and kind of just get it to where I want it. So this is a really nice little tool to have. This is my go-to eraser now. See, I'm talking and not paying attention. Anyway, let's see if I can get this a little straighter. Some people use like a graphite pencil. I've seen that used. It really is a personal preference. I forgot half of my stuff, I see. Other thing that I do for my eyebrows and my eyelashes, I use the Precise V5 Extra Fine Pilot. I think that says somewhere on there. Here, very small letters, it says Pilot right here on the tip. This is in black, and this is what I use for my eyelashes and eyebrows. These also, if you have a Cricut, I'm not familiar with silhouettes, so I won't say these fit in the writing area of the Cricut though. So I really like that about them too. Now I'm just doing my eyelashes here. These are harder to do because there's not much room off to the side, so it's much more difficult for me to do. But I do short and long. I alternate. I'm not putting any eyebrows on this one. They're going to get covered up. Next, what I'm going to do is I use a Sakura jelly roll pen, the white jelly rolls. I love these. I have found, and I've mentioned before, when I'm doing my little circles in my eyes, I try very hard to just do a light touch, because otherwise, I can't explain, but you just don't get that feel. It just takes a real light touch. And I just get a much better, much better effect. If I do it too hard, they get kind of grainy and it spreads the ink out, so to speak. The other thing is, I like to make sure my glue is dry before I use these. So I like, if you're using a wetter glue yet, not quite a quick dry, it's really a good idea to let that ink dry, because this will smear. This won't work the best either. So just a heads up. The other thing we'll do next is the cheeks. We'll come back and finish the eyes. Don't get me wrong, I let my jelly roll, white jelly roll pen dry before I try to do anything else, or it'll smear, believe it or not. So will the black. If you don't let that dry, the black pen smears badly too. The next thing I use is a pom-pom. This is, I think, a 10 millimeter. I like the 7, the 5s. It depends upon what I'm working with. And then this is probably, yeah, this is one from Pebbles. I use Pebbles chalk, and then I use this other chalk. Any kind of chalk works, don't get me wrong. Eyeshadow, no. Your blush makeup will work for this. But I just have this alligator clip. A friend of mine actually made me several of them. Just took dowel sticks, got the electrical alligator clips. He drilled holes in the dowel sticks and just stuck the alligator clip in there with glue. So if I did it, I wouldn't have fingers left. Me and using a drill, no. So, and I'm using a couple of colors. I'm using this real dark red and then this lighter pink, and then I just put them on my paper to kind of get them mixed together some. And then I just put it on. And again, the beauty of this, if you get it on too much, just erase it and redo it, because it's just chalk. That's what I like about using chalk. It just, you can take off if you get too much, so that's really nice. Forgot what I was gonna say. If you don't have the pom-poms, just use, if you have the sponge daubers, the clean ones, they work. If you don't have the sticks, you can just use the alligator clips. You don't have to have the dowel sticks, you know. It's just easier for me to hold onto than trying to use just a little alligator clip. So, like I said, any chalks, or I've used makeup sponge before. All right, so I didn't look. Most of this is going to be covered. That was pretty stupid. I'm talking and not paying attention here. So I'm going to come back in. I'm just putting some blush on here instead. You can take part of the white and take part of it off too. So let's get this on. My glue is making a mess because it's down to the bottom of the barrel and it likes to ooze out. If that was one thing I could change about this glue, it would be that I don't know if acetone is a gas. Someday I'm going to figure out why that is. I don't know how, but I'll figure something out. All right. Here's where I want to put just a little bit of on the two edges here. Just a little bit of chalk for the cheeks. Shouldn't talk with a pin in my mouth. Next I'll swallow it. Okay, I'll get this popped on. Get the nose on. And I'll put this on. Let that dry. The other thing I do use sometimes is the pick-me-up tool. If I have some really little pieces, I got it out for some of my really small pieces on my leaves. Now, come back with, I lose things rapidly. I don't know how that is. Really don't. There it is. Looking for my little eyeshadow. So in my eyes, I just put a little bit of white. And in the nose. Hoping the white is fairly dry on that pen. Okay, now come back and finish this. We want to put these on first. Put on the top. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave a comment. And I've had some questions also about how I design my scrapbook layouts in Cricut Design Space. And I'll be honest, I have tried multiple times to figure out how to film my camera and not have squiggly lines on my computer screen. I've given up on that. So what I'm going to do is, I do have a layout here. If I find the rest of the paper I need for it, I'm going to do my best to explain to you from that before I put it together. It's really quite simple, and I think it will work from there. So just give you a heads up there. Okay, now I'm going to figure out where these pieces go. That one goes the biggest one here. Sorry, I'm working on my grubby mat. I can't work white on white. I think I'm good now. I'm going to take and put this on white. Get a piece of cardstock here. And you might be able to see better what I'm doing now. Get the rest of my pieces over here. Just using my Cricut spatula to pick up those little pieces. I don't, like I said, I have very few tools that I use. Just don't need a lot really. More it's about the cardstock and yeah, what glue you prefer. And then work from there. Okay, I'm not sure which one of these goes where, so I think they're about the same size. This is where it's hard to see what I'm doing. Okay. If you ever have questions, I've had a couple people now, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. Just message me if you have need some help with something. I'm not going to say I'm always doing it right, and I may not know the exact answer, but I will do my best to help you as best I can, or we'll figure something out. You know, maybe we can direct you where to get some assistance. But yeah, I hope you don't get frustrated and just quit either. Ask questions, please. I've done my share of that, so just want to kind of share that with you. Trying to get this on without gluing everything to the paper. So now you can kind of see that green did kind of all go together with the first vine. A lot of it might have been glue that I was seeing that just hadn't dried. That happens when I make my poinsettias. They look kind of funky until they're all dried. So get that on. I have to share with you, my sister discovered my fan page. I don't even want to know some days, but so she has given me an order for several things I got to get busy and do. I don't know how I can show her something and it doesn't register. It's just kind of funny. And then she sees it there and she's got to have it. I was looking for, I must have thrown them away, but a baby pom-pom. I think I put them, yeah, I put them away. I was going to put just a little bit of brown here. I'll see if the paintbrush, sometimes paintbrushes work okay for me. I'll try it. Yes and no. It's working okay. You know, sometimes I should just quit when I'm ahead instead of keep playing with these pieces. Keep adding to them and adding to them, and crazy. Let's see. Don't know how much this white is picking up on the camera on the green, just putting a little bit on, and then I'll come back with a little bit of white. And I just want to highlight a little bit in here, maybe. Put a little bit on there. Hands. All right, I am just about done. That is my finished paper piece. Like I said, I will get it on a card, and I'll try to have it at the end of the video, or at the beginning, I'm not sure where, but those are the pieces. That's pretty much the equipment I use. It's main things right here. These few things other than chalk and my sponge daubers. So thank you all for joining me. Have a great day. Take care.